what's up and welcome back to our channel. Today's video is going to be Austin's room tour, his nursery tour, as well as going through his memory box. For those of you that don't know, we lost our son at 5 months old this year in March, and his name was Austin. And a lot has been focused around his passing, so I kind of also just wanted to show a little bit into his personality, maybe let you know a little bit more about him and who he was. And I also wanted to get a final video of his nursery tour before we started to change things around for our baby girl that's due in May, who is named Dallas. And so we're going to start off with his memory box. There's quite a bit in here, so I'm just going to kind of pull from the top. I don't want the video to be too long, so I'm going to try to go through it a little quickly. So the first thing that's on top is this little bear hat. We called Austin Baby Bear from the time that we found out that we were pregnant. That was just kind of his nickname, and so bears became his thing. I'll put any pictures I have of him wearing this hat in the video as well, so you guys can see. But he was our baby bear, and so this is one of the things that we decided to set aside for him that just helps us remember him. The next thing that's in his memory box is this onesie. It's got his name on it and the number 55. It's kind of like a little mini motocross racing jersey. It says "Just Ride" on it. I used to race motocross. I ride a Yamaha YFC 450 ATV. Haven't really been that much into it lately, but one of our friends at the racetrack sent us this for Austin when he was born. This is the hat that Austin wore on his first Halloween. He was only like 3 weeks old at the time, and so they didn't really have any good costumes for babies that were that small, so he ended up just wearing his pumpkin onesie and then this little hat, which is so tiny. Next thing in here is this little elephant. This was his favorite like little comforter and friend to talk to. We ended up getting the same one for Dallas because I wanted her to have one too, since this was Austin's favorite. And I even remember the night before he passed, we ended up going to Texas Roadhouse, and we got back a little later than we had expected to. It was like 8:30, close to 9, and I usually like to have him down to bed around, you know, between 7 and 8. And so he was already going to bed late. I put him down, and you would think he'd be tired and go right to sleep, but no, I go in and check on him a few minutes later, and he's holding this up in front of his face and talking to it. So this was one of his like best friends that he loved so much. This was another one of his favorites as far as toys go. He had started teething and was like drooly and always loving to have something to gnaw on. And this was one of his favorite teethers. Again, a little bear, because he was our baby bear. This was also a big hit in the teething department. He hadn't had this very long, but for some reason, all babies seemed obsessed with chewing on Sophia the giraffe. So that was also one of his favorites. This outfit of his is one that we saved. It's a little bear, of course, got the little bear tail on it and the little hat. And this he wore in some of his newborn pictures. We tried our hardest to get a cute picture of him in this outfit. I think my mom bought this for him, and she was like determined to get a good picture of him in this, and he just was not having it that day for pictures. The poor photographer had to end up coming back like 2 days in a row because he didn't like pictures. He just didn't want to cooperate. He didn't want to wear the outfits. Austin was very strong-willed and stubborn from the moment he came out, and he was very much like, no, if I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. And that was his personality. This is a little hat that we saved. This is what they had on him in the hospital before he had his organs donated. His body had kind of started to fail, and he wasn't able to regulate his body temperature very well, and so some nice lady had made hand crocheted these hats for the babies that were in the pediatric intensive care unit and for the kids, and they gave us one to help keep his little head warm. This is a onesie that I bought him that he didn't get to wear, sadly, but it's still very special to me. And it just says, "My mommy's first Mother's Day." And he spent his first Mother's Day in heaven. So I saved this as a memory. And let's see, this is another hat of his that he wore a lot with little bear ears to keep his little head warm. This is some of his Christmas outfits that we saved that were his. This one is a little onesie that's just got a little reindeer on the butt that he looks so cute in. That was a cute one. And then we also saved his Santa hat that he wore that says "My First Christmas." He wore this when we actually took him to go ride the Polar Express down in North Carolina. It was me, Paul, and Paul's mom, Donna, and his sister, Katie, and we drove down and we ended up taking him to ride the Polar Express, and he wore his little Santa hat. And then this is another Christmas outfit. I think he wore this one Christmas Eve, maybe? And it says "My First Christmas" with all the little details on it. And then of course it's got little matching red and green pants to go with it. Another teether that he loved. He loved this banana. I have a video of him at like 3 months old, and he was late smiling, and I was like starting to get worried. I'm like, why is he not smiling? And so I would try everything I could to get him to smile. And one of the things that would make him smile, even before he was really teething, is he thought the texture of this banana was so funny. So I would rub it across his lips and he would smile. He was a goofball. That's another thing about his personality, is he was very silly. He was gonna be a silly boy like his dad. They were gonna have pretty much the same sense of humor. This is also in there. This is his, I don't know if you'd see it. This is his Bible from when he got dedicated at church. He got dedicated, I think he was like 4 months old. And his grandpa, Paul's dad, is actually the pastor at our church. And so he was able to do the baby dedication. And it's got his name in there and the date that he was dedicated and by who he was dedicated by. This was another one of his favorite toys. It's just this little mouse that we would hang on his play gym, and he really loved to kick it. Makes little rattling noises. This is a card that I bought him for his first birthday. Even though he wasn't here, we still wanted to celebrate, and so us and our family members that drove up from North Carolina for the day, we all decided to go to the zoo, and that's what we had said that we wanted to do with him for his first birthday, even from the time that he was young. So we all got to spend the day together at the zoo, and we came back to our house and had birthday cake and all the goodies. And this is a little happy birthday bear that we had set on his gravesite. And that was just a little card that we got him from his mom and dad. Let's see. These are the pregnancy tests from when I found out that I was pregnant with him. 2 little faint lines that changed everything. And in here we also have this photo album, and this has all of his ultrasounds that he ever had, all of his pictures starting from the 8-week, 12-week, when we went and had the gender scan at 16 weeks with the little 3D ultrasounds. And then he also had his anatomy scan at 20 weeks. And of course, because he didn't want to cooperate for the ultrasound, we had to go back again at 22 weeks to finish up the rest of the anatomy scan. But this book just has all of his little pictures in it. And then we have this picture, which was actually one of Paul's Father's Day gifts this year. And this picture is special because Paul and I found one of the companies that helps find missing children. They do the age progression photos. And so we sent in our baby pictures and pictures of what we looked like growing up until our current age. And we sent in a lot of the pictures that we had of Austin, and they did an age progression on him. And this is what they had said he would look like at the age of 18. And you know, these things aren't exact, but I mean, it looks like a child of mine and Paul's would. He looks like Paul, which is accurate. And he's got my nose and my eye color. So this is a very special picture to us that we love to have in our memory box. And then we've got a couple of things in here. We have this birthday boy badge and this football and this little puppy dog. And when we found out that he was brain dead, we wanted to have a birthday party for him since we knew we wouldn't get that opportunity. And he was supposed to turn 6 months old on April 2nd, and which was just a couple days away. So us and our family put on a little birthday party for him. Paul and I ended up going to Walmart at like 11, 12 o'clock at night and just buying some party supplies, like little hats. I think we've got a pair of little sunglasses in here somewhere that he wore, like, yeah, and a party hat that he wore for his party. And that was a nice opportunity that we otherwise never would have gotten. And the hospital was so nice. They like ordered balloons for him and a little stuffed animal. And we got to celebrate the time that he had on earth before he went to heaven. Whew. Get a little teary-eyed for some of this, but it's bittersweet, you know? Like, we're so glad to have these memories and this memory box of his stuff. It makes you like happy and sad to see it at the same time. So let's see. Oh yeah, speaking of sunglasses, these are the infamous Austin sunglasses. He loved these things, whether it was because he wasn't old enough to figure out how to get them off yet, or he genuinely liked them from the time that Mom and I put them on him in Carter's. Like, we knew that he had to have them. He just started smiling and laughing, and he thought that it was so funny, and he would never try to take them off. So these became a signature item for him as well. Let's see. And this is something that I put in here of mine. It's one of my maternity shirts, looking a little rough, but it says due in October, because that was the month that he was due. The writing is mainly worn off now, but... And then we have this little band right here. I don't know if you could see it or if it'll focus, but it says "It's a Boy." And this is a bracelet that we got from the gender prediction place when we went to have our gender prediction done. And then we also have his baby book, which, you know, we filled out as much as we could, but due to circumstances, you know, some of that's left blank. This is a little heartbeat bear. We actually have two of these. We have one from his gender reveal scan, and then this is one that the hospital gave us when he passed away and donated his organs. And both of these types of bears, if you squeeze them, it plays his heartbeat, which is a really sweet sound to be able to listen to. Then we also have, I saved one of the newborn diapers from the first pack of diapers that we used with him. And we have 2 books that we would love to read to him. He loved Never Touch a Dinosaur and I Love You to the Moon and Back. Those were 2 special books that we got to read him. Okay, and the next thing we have in here is this little outfit with a raccoon on it. And this one's just special because this is one that Paul picked out for him. It was the first outfit that he picked out for him. And then I've got in here my first Thanksgiving hat with little turkey on it. And his favorite pacifier, this Wubbanub giraffe. This boy loved his pacifier. Couldn't get enough of it. Was definitely a pacifier baby, and this was his favorite to hold on to, was his little giraffe. And I've got the hat that he came home from the hospital in. So sweet. And then these next boxes are special. The hospital, when we knew that he was going to be an organ donor and that he wouldn't be coming home with us, they did little imprints of his hands and feet, which are so special. So we keep those. And let's see. They also gave us like little inked prints of his hands and feet. And we got a little lock of his hair. And even the little pulse ox monitor that was on his, I can't remember if it was on his hand or on his foot. And they also gave us and the grandparents a copy of like his actual heartbeat. Don't know if you can see that on there. And my mom and dad actually ended up getting his heartbeat tattooed on them in remembrance of him. And I got a tattoo as well, but mine just says, "I still carry you." And it's got a little heart inside of a heart, just to symbolize that I carry him with me everywhere. Sorry, I'm going fast. This video is long and I'm trying to keep it down a little bit. Let's see. This was also, of course, the hospital blanket that he had in the hospital when he was born. Pictures from when he was born in the hospital. And then we've got some certificates from LifeNet, which is the company that was in charge of his organ donation. So this just is like a gift of life plaque that's got his name on it for organ donation. And we also saved the letter that we got letting us know where his organs went. They were able to donate his heart to another little boy, an infant boy. And then they were amazingly able to donate his kidneys to a 50-year-old man. So we know that those are 2 people who are possibly alive, or at least living better than they would have because of Austin, which is always, you know, makes you feel better that his life wasn't in vain and that it went to help save some other people. We're UNC fans in my household, and some of my family is, so this was a UNC Tar Heel onesie that I'd bought for him. I don't think he actually ever got to wear that, but still UNC fans. This was the boots and onesie that we used to announce the pregnancy. It says motocross baby, And the back says Thomas 55 with the little crocheted racing boots, which are adorable. And we also have the clothes that he was wearing, or some of the stuff that he was wearing the day that he passed away. I have his pants that he was wearing, and his jacket, and the baby blanket that we had sent with him that day. Then we have baby's first Christmas. This was another Santa hat from his first Christmas. And this is his coming home outfit. He was our little baby bear with little bear pants with bears on the bottom. These were a pair of shoes that we put on him the most. They're just little khaki little shoes. And I have a picture of him. I can't remember if it's in this khaki pair or he also had a navy pair like this the first time we tried to put shoes on him, and he absolutely revolted. I mean, he threw a total tantrum for a good 5-10 minutes just because he did not want to be in shoes. And like I said, he's very stubborn, very strong-willed, so it is so funny to see that picture, which of course after like I said, 5-10 minutes, he got used to him and calmed down, and it wasn't a big deal at all. But just because he's so stubborn and he did not want to be in shoes at first, he threw a total fit. And the last two things that I have in here are this little, I actually think it's a pillowcase, but he was so tiny in the hospital, in the pediatric intensive care unit, they wanted like a cute blanket to put over top of him, but all the other ones were so big. And so they ended up using this pillowcase to cover him up with, and so they let us take that home. And we also have this prayer blanket that my cousin's church, I believe, made for us, and she brought this when she came, and we kept this on him from the moment that it was given to us, you know, just praying to God for a miracle. But it was his will that Austin go straight to heaven because he was such a perfect little angel baby, should have known. But yeah, that is our memory box, and like I said, it can definitely be hard to look at sometimes, but it's also happy memories that I'm so glad that we have. So now we're gonna get into his nursery tour real quick, and yeah, I'll see you guys over there. So first, when you walk in, you've got this little wall right here. It says, "Before you were born, I set you apart." Jeremiah 1:5. And we had some little coat hangers on the wall. And you got this wall over here. And another little sign. It says, "How is it possible that out of all the little boys in the whole world, we got the best one?" That couldn't be more true. This is stroller. This little bouncer. And then over here we've got his bookshelf with his books and toys. And then just some little baskets up here with like random pacifiers and teethers and toys and things like that. Then we got some more signs. Dream big, little one. Read me a story, tuck me in tight. Say a sweet prayer and kiss me goodnight. And then another little prayer. And then we got this big wall over here. This nursery is huge. For our house, this was considered the bonus room, and our master bedroom is downstairs, and we didn't want the baby to be upstairs, so we decided to convert the bonus room into the nursery. And so we've got his high chair, which will also be Dallas's high chair because it's blue and pink. We've got his crib. His theme was bears. We called him Baby Bear. So there's his little mobile. And all his little bears. And a little lamb. And this lamb actually plays his heartbeat from when we got our ultrasound done. So that's obviously something that's very special to us that we're definitely going to keep and maybe put in Dallas's room with her. So then we got his little sign right there that his Aunt Crystal made for him, my sister. It says Austin Everett and don't wake the bear. Some more little decorations. And his swing. Oh yeah, and we've got the little fluffy rug that goes in front of his crib. Swing. And then that's the little chair that we would rock him in. And some more of his stuffed animals. And I put that picture there because that's exactly where he was sitting when we took it. His little smiling face. And we got some more decorations over here. Just says little explorer, kind heart, fierce mind, brave spirit, climb every mountain. And then a little wicker basket that held some of his blankets. Diaper genie. And this was his changing table. Paul actually painted this whole thing for him, and he actually built the changing part up here, this little wood piece to go on it for him. It's changing cover. And that's normally where we would have all the diapers and diaper cream and stuff. And then that's his dirty clothes basket. And it says, I love you to the moon and back. I'll do a slow kind of panorama of his room. Okay guys, so that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed getting to see Austin's room and just kind of a little bit more about him, you know, the special things that we have to remember him by. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button down below. Helps our channel grow. And we'll see you guys in next week's video. Bye.